Hey everybody, Steve Grace here. I'm going to show y'all how to make one of the best tree stand ropes out of a hollow braided ski rope, a real large diameter hollow braided ski rope. And got a big roll here. I've got some pulled out, and what I find is about 8 foot is about the right length for most trees. And it depends on how big of a tree you're going to hunt, how much rope you need. And the best way to cut it is with a hot Stanley knife blade. Just melts right through it real easy without fraying it. And I got that cut. And after that, what you want to do is find something that you can wrap around the end of it, because you're going to be feeding it back inside itself, and you don't want this end to be very big. You see how that hot melted rubber stays together. It won't fray nearby as bad. I got to look around here for what I like to use is a big pen cap, a big Sharpie pen cap, and I'll slide it over there, and that'll allow me to feed it back through itself. And you can see this is what we're trying to come up with. A rope like this that's looped through itself, got bigger ends where it won't pull back through very easy, and got a loop on one end, and it's going to be looped around a S hook, and I bent this S hook back around and tack welded it. So let's get to it and show you how to do it. Now here's the Sharpie end cap. And all I do is stick this in, work it in. It's a little bit hard to get in there, but once you get it in there, it's easier to feed back through itself. And what I'm gonna make this loop in first. It's real tight loop in. And what you do is you're gonna go back through it twice. You're gonna go through it so it'll be a double thickness. So I gotta get about 8 inches extra, and pull that about, well, it's about 10 inches maybe. Loop it around and go through about 3 or 4. About 3 or 4 inches there. What you're going to do, make your circle, you're going to come in, go in the inside, but you're going to come back out on the outside of your loop. You got to be careful. You're pushing the rope more than pulling that pin cap, or it'll come off. You're going to go in the inside and come out on the outside. You got to have some excess. Alright, see, I'm working it in, it's pushing that pin cap out. This is the second time I've done this. I think I'm going to be successful this time. Alright, see, now I can grab my rope, and there's my loop, and that's what's going to hook. But I've got to go back inside with this. That just gives you a double thickness where it won't wear out as quick. And then I've got to put my pin cap back on, bend it back, and go right back in where that rope comes out, and go up inside here like this. Alright, like so. And that gives a double thickness and that much more insurance that it's not going to come loose. And now I'll work this out. Grab my pin cap, my teeth, pull it out like that, and that's not going to go anywhere. The double thickness here goes through twice, and it locks itself in like the little Chinese finger handcuffs, and that's not going to go anywhere. Now I've got to take this other end and got to come through, and how far you come through from this, come through down here and come back out, depending on what size tree. you're gonna hunt out of. Now obviously you're not gonna hunt out of a tree that's probably 2 or 3 inches, so you can give yourself a little room to play with. And I'll probably run it down about right here. I'm gonna put my pin cap back on. This end's frayed out a little bit more than the other. I may have to melt that down if I can't get it in. That's part of the reason you melt them ends. They don't fray out so bad like this is trying. And another way to do it, if it starts doing that, you just put a piece of duct tape around it. And that's what I'm gonna have to do here. And I'll wrap it up tight with duct tape. And now I can easily feed it inside my pin cap. That pin cap just helps you to push it through. I'm gonna come down here. Get the rope kind of untwisted. I'm gonna come down here. I'm gonna pick a spot about right here and start working it through. You just kind of have to bunch it up. And it'll form a little hole there where you can go through. And on this one, you're gonna want to go through about 4 or 5 inches, where you'll have plenty of room for it to cinch back down on a rope where it won't slip. And then come out, and I think, yeah, they come out. A little bit trial and error. I may be a little bit tight on this one. Maybe for a real small tree. But there's still plenty of rope. Plenty of rope there. And you end up with that right there. And this end will be going through the one eye bolt. And this end will be going through the, not the eye bolt. This end will be going through the 1S hook that I have welded. And this will go in the S hook that's just looped out like that. It'll just hook on the end. You can use these for climbing sticks or anything. Use them the same way. I got to secure this last little bit, and put the pin cap back on, and you just go as tight as you can back into itself. Just go tight as I can. You want to make a little fatter end. Once again, you got to bunch it up to get it to work through there. Just a little tedious. Go back inside itself. Make a little double thickness there where it won't pull through. Pull the cap out, and there you have it. And that's a complete rope done in just a few minutes. And it'll cinch up, as you can see, cinch it up about this tight. And that's gonna go around about a 6-inch tree right there. So that's about as small a tree as I'm gonna be up. That's not going anywhere. This rope's light. The hollow braided ski rope is just really light, and it's a good way to go. I think they make some Amsteel out of this same material. You make it do the same thing with it. It'll be smaller diameter. You'll have to, it'll be a little more tedious to work with. But there's one ready to go. If I give this to anybody or sell it to them to get inside their S hook, they're either going to have to bend their S hook out, hook this in, bend it back together, and or either they're going to have to run this back out and start all over. Pull this back out, pull that back through, go through the S hook, and then come back through again. But hopefully with the help of this instructional video, it won't be hard for them to do it. But I've got a lot of this poly rope here, and if anybody wants one of these, I can make them up for them. This one may be a hair short. I may need to go up to 9 foot. I've used this tree stand a ton. Just kind of comparing here, and Yeah, it's a little, no, it's a little longer there. I hadn't got it cinched up quite the same. Look like this, and it's gonna stretch a little bit. I just want to compare this one with the one I have here and see if they're both about the same. See, those two eye bolts are about the same. There. That's the new one. It's a little bit shorter, but it'll be good. Once you run it out like this, you can see what size tree you could be around. You be around a 20-inch tree. But anyway, that's how to rig up the poly rope to for whatever you need. If you're gonna put it on a climbing sticks, it's a good way to cinch up. You just run it around the tree, hook it back in the other part of the climbing stick, pull this, and it's tight. So it'll work for climbing sticks. You hadn't got to be dallying off like they do, and so to me it looks a little safer. But anyway, be used for multiple purposes. It's just basically like a trucker's hitch in a way, because you can kind of put a little force on it and tighten things down.